LegacyMaker, the All Sports Network. And now it's time for the LegacyMaker Sports Postgame Report.
Hello, everybody. Darrell, Owens, LegacyMaker Sports Network here at John Paul Jones Arena. Final score: the Virginia Cavaliers win 57-54 over the Louisville Cardinals. We got another exciting game. Lamont, give us your thoughts on the game.
It did not disappoint. Louisville and UVA brought it all on the floor today. At the end of the day, UVA played their type of ball. They got stops, and Kihei Club, he showed off today.
Yeah, we talked about Kihei before the game and what we thought that, he just came off of a great game against Tech. He's been playing really well lately. He drops 18 tonight. Coach talked about in the post game how valuable Kihei. All of his teammates had nothing but great things to say about him in that post game, and he continues to grow. And like Diakite said, he's a sophomore, and people don't realize he's a sophomore, and sometimes he gets treated like he is a redshirt senior. But today, big win. Now they look like they're in a good position. In going into the ACC tournament. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, they're playing really good basketball right now. This is where you want to reach your peak as the ACC tournament's coming up, and all they have to do is play their game. The players said, day in and day out, the best team on that day is going to win. With all that talent in the ACC, you got to bring it every day, and UVA's ready to do that.
Yeah, we saw Cole Anthony said you wouldn't want to mess with us. We're the most dangerous lower seed that you've ever seen. Just be prepared. And when you got one of the people that people had a top five as a top 5 draft pick going into the season as a lower seed, you never know. The ACC is wide open, in my opinion. There's some good teams at the top, but there's a lot of mid-range teams. Who knows what's going to happen next week when they head to Greensboro. Now, Louisville made a run, but they just couldn't bring it back in the end. Lamar, what were your thoughts on Louisville?
Well, they did good. They brought the small ball lineup in, so that kind of helped to keep Jay Huff off the floor, and they talked about that, and it kind of worked because him and Mamadi couldn't stay on the floor at the same time, and they couldn't lock up all of Louisville's smaller guys. So it helped out. They brought them right there at 2.5 minutes left to play. They were right there in the game. They just couldn't finish out.
Well, we're going to see what happens next week, man. Right now, Louisville and UVA are sitting there chilling. They're going to have a double bye. We'll see what the other teams do in the lower half. It's going to be a great week of basketball next week. Once again, this is Darrell Owens.
Lamar Thomas.
Heading out here from John Paul Jones Arena. UVA, thank you for another great year from the LegacyMaker Sports Network. We'll see y'all next year. Oh, that's right. And the post game. Enjoy.
We had a decision to make. We didn't have the matchups defensively, but I wanted to get Jay on the floor for rebounds, post-ups, but it was hard matchups, but they actually did okay. But Kihei, he's done it, and he continues to do it, and made the big shot, and we needed every ounce of it. So I can't say enough about what he's got going on inside here, and it's a great way to finish off the regular season for him, and of course the others. But yeah, that was a clutch shot. When you switch, sometimes you can back those guys off and get a good look at those threes, but you still got to make it. It's a little harder. Some teams, they're staying at home and making him finish down there. And we had a couple of, again, shots blocked and a turnover late. But again, Mamadi made a tough shot. We got a couple key stops, and it comes down to making plays. And did you think it was going to end any other way?
The score was 16-8 early. You got a chance to regroup with the guys, and then the next few possessions defensively, you guys were really locked in. Is there anything you said to them specifically, or how did you reel them in?
Yeah, I think we were. I liked the shots we were getting offensively, even though we weren't making them. So I said, okay, you're going offensively, but just a couple mishaps, couple breakdowns where they got behind us, they beat us outside. And we always say defense is such a matter of the heart, and then it's you bring the soundness and your mind with it, but just lay it on the line. And I think we tightened up some things, and then when we're right, our length is for real, and so we got some deflections. And I think what triggered it even more is the ball pressure. I just kept seeing Kihei get after it. I saw other guys active hands, and I thought that energized us. And of course, the crowd was that was a good one. Boy, that was. You could feel it, you could hear it. One time it was so loud we missed a call that gave him a bucket, but I'll take that because we were trying to yell to Jay and he didn't hear it, so it got to a nice place. And I have great respect for the quality and the maturity of Louisville's team and their coaches, the job they do. And they were playing for an ACC championship, as were we, barring some help in DC. So that was very intense.
Start getting stops and scoring a little bit and put ourselves in a position to win, and obviously disappointed that we couldn't finish the deal. But there's two teams competing out there, and Virginia did a great job defensively, and we didn't quite do what we needed to do defensively.
Chris, what fueled that second half turnaround?
Well, I think we started to get some defensive stops. I thought for a while, end of the first half, beginning of the second half, and then we went zone. Both zone and man weren't very effective. We were letting our offensive struggles that Virginia had everything to do with, really contribute to not having our motor running like it should be on the defensive end. So we talked about that in the huddle. I give our guys a lot of credit for being able to find themselves again defensively and begin to put some stops together. I think a few times we scored in transition, but it just made the game feel a little bit differently once we started getting stops.
What do you think went wrong?
Perspective in your mind as they're kind of chipping away? Are you thinking, here we go again, but kind of in a positive way?
Yeah, I mean, we get down to that point and it doesn't really seem to phase us that much. I think there was a point last game, it didn't happen this game, but last game where me and Braxton just kind of looked at each other like, we've been here about 20 times this season. So I don't really think that we get nervous the same way. I mean, even last year it was the same. So.
Your balance between controlling the pace of the game, playing at Virginia's pace, and also staying aggressive. You seem to become made a lot of progress in the second half of the season. How's that helped your game?
Just trying to just get my shots through the offense. Don't want to be too passive because last year guys, other teams kind of like keyed off me and kind of backed up off me. So trying to stay aggressive, and I know my role has progressed this year and scoring a little more is part of my job. So just trying to be aggressive because then that leaves lanes for like Jay on the lob or Thomas coming off threes on the shake. So just trying to be aggressive. So they got to keep us honest.
Hank and then David.
Preparing for this game today for you, or did you treat it like just any other game?
I treated it like just the rest of the games. I know our new job wasn't done yet, and we had to come in against a big caliber team and get it done. I remember last time we played them, we didn't execute really well, and I thought Coach also thought we're lukewarm on defense at the beginning of the game, and that cost us towards the end.
Okay. Gene and then Mike and then Hank.
I think it was a no call the first time. And then it happened again. You looked like you thought you had your spot, and then it happened again. You got the charge call. Did anything go through your mind differently on that second go round? Or?
I mean, hey, I have nothing to say about the refs, but I thought it was the same thing. He hit me. He lowered his shoulder, and I fall. I fell. So it's supposed to be a call. But if they didn't call it, cool. I'll keep playing.
LegacyMaker, the All Sports Network.